I got back on stage after the latest round of operations in February, and then felt good when I got back on the stage. Felt that maybe there was a little bit of, fine-tuning that still needed to happen, just performance-wise. But I felt that I was, diligent in the way that I prepared to get back to the stage. And in a way, I might actually be dancing better than ever, whether or not that's because I've learned something or I've had time to reflect or just kind of renewed vigor. I'm at a place I'm still contributing in the way that I want to, and other people have said they've been enjoying my shows and haven't picked up on anything, so it's good by me. Yeah, I have to say it's been a trying couple of years just to have essentially 4 different operations in about 2 years. After not having had suffered from any real major injuries or had any surgeries before that, it's been kind of a rough ride. I've been very committed to trying to take on a broad spectrum of dance and kind of put it through this body, which may also be one of the reasons why I've suffered some significant injuries, because to bend the body in so many different directions, it definitely takes its toll. But I think if you look at the list of repertoire that I've danced, and then were to understand perhaps just the things I worked in the studio that never went to the stage with various choreographers, just kind of trying to enrich myself with different movement. The decisions I've made in my career to go from city ballet to dance in Europe to come to ABT has basically meant that I have a thirst for many different things, and I think that they all can be very valid and then fulfilling for me, because the career is short. Right now I'm just kind of happy that I've gotten back on stage and am dancing as well as I have been. I think that I have a lot of ideas. I'm also very committed to try and raise the level of awareness as well as the quality of dance in America, just having grown up and trained and kind of had to hack my way as an American male. So I do think that I will be committed and dedicated to trying to find a way to have an impact, not in a forceful way, but in a way that hopefully will just keep the art form evolving and progressing. Personally, I think that, again, things will change. It's changed in many ways over the last 100 years, and that would be the expectation. For me, I'm always looking to the future with respect to the past, taking on and learning from the people that came before, the things that I've seen. But I think we have to keep being innovative and creative. And if that means that you bring in film or dramatic effect or more musical theater elements, or if you're just talking about doing things in venues that maybe wouldn't have been considered a place to stage ballet, I think you have to explore, because if we don't take the risk, then we don't know what's possible. I think as well the dancer of the future, as well as maybe in a small way the dancer of the present and the now, is required to do many different styles, and that's good. Dance is evolving. It's changing, and it's incorporating many different things. And one night might be doing Le Corsaire, and the next night might be doing a piece from Twyla Tharp or Jorma Alo. And so you have to first be ready to accept that up here, and then once you have that, hopefully that will be processed and taken through your body. I've always, again, been quite thoughtful, always maintain that clean never goes out of style in classical ballet, and you mix that in with risk and, daring, and I think that, you need to function within the framework and the etiquette of classical dance, because a fifth position is a fifth position, but then what you do in between all those positions, that's liberating, and that's where the freedom is. It gets frustrating when people always want to see what they saw before, or are most comfortable with what they know. Well, it's not about comfort. It's about going to see something and somebody has something to say. What's odd is kind of getting feedback from other people, because you might walk off the stage and feel like, wow, that meant something to me in the moment that was quite spectacular, and other people might agree, or you might feel that, wow, I really just didn't have it tonight. And then all of a sudden, people that you know and respect, and you respect their opinion, come up and say, gosh, that's the best I've seen it. So it's kind of hard to figure out in the moment what makes those things kind of another level. There's dancers that videotape their rehearsals, that they don't videotape the performances, of course, because of union rules. But if they were able to, they do a lot of homework and a lot of study. And from time to time, if someone has videotaped something, I think it can be beneficial to take a look, and there's something to learn from. But I think that it might not be very constructive to also overanalyze and obsess about things, because again, you have to let yourself go to a certain extent, and if you're trying to remember this or that, or become kind of mechanical or robotic in what you're doing, then I think you really lose you lose the spirit of being a performing artist. As a dancer, you look at yourself in the mirror quite a lot, but then to see yourself kind of that size on the big screen was quite overwhelming. Not to mention to hear how you speak. That was kind of bizarre as well. But I'm always fascinated. People come up from time to time and say, "Oh, we love Center Stage, and we saw the movie, and we've seen it 25 times, and all of that." And I think I've seen it about two or three times, because I can't handle the reality. The movie itself is a huge machine, and they need to get across, I guess, many different aspects within the time of the film. And I think as a dancer, my main goal with that was to represent the art form as best as I could, because it could have been anybody. But for me, first and foremost, it was to say, hey, my other peers would be proud to see Ethan Stiefel doing what he's doing, and kind of giving a good representation of the art form. So when you think about that, first you're thinking about it from the dance perspective, but then you realize you're making a piece of entertainment, and there's so many different ways to bring that to life. People will gravitate towards different artists, and there are certain people who write, who believe in what I do, and when they go to the performance, they see it and choose to write in that way. There are people that maybe it's they prefer another dancer, and what can you do at the end of the day? I mean, I just have to again be committed to what I'm trying to say, and otherwise take it for what it is. I mean, I take all those clippings and I send them to my mom and dad, and they archive it, and in whatever 20, 30 years, maybe I'll sit down and look at it all, and it'll mean something completely different to me then than it means to me now. But all I can say is that I'm grateful to have had the career that I have, and as an artist, I don't think you do anything to pander, nor you do anything really to please. You do it because you have a vision, and I think that's a gift. I think there's been a couple different role models. One of them, I think, most obvious for me was Baryshnikov, just because there was so much that was readily available, either on VHS or on television, because in Wisconsin we didn't have so much live dance readily available in Portage. So it was basically what I would see either through film or through specials on public television, and certainly he was very much prevalent in all those programs. I think, though, as time evolved and my teachers kind of presented different people to me, I think that Eric Brune probably was someone that I was extremely fascinated in because of what he was able to do technically, but at the same time maintaining the structure and etiquette of classical dance, because that's what does kind of make it special from other forms and doesn't just turn it into kind of an Olympic feat of physicality. And you know what, Gene Kelly, I think that what he was able to do for male dancers in this country, and just his style, his athleticism, and I believe, though don't quote me on this, that he felt that he was perhaps the working man's dancer. I found that to be, for myself personally, very relevant and meaningful. It's very, very powerful, the media, and so in a way, again, it's about people who have an inherent interest and decide to pursue that interest in dance. It's not as if I feel people can simply fall into it, but I know that the efforts of companies and individuals to do promotion, to present things in a different way, to package it in maybe a user-friendly way is certainly happening, and the think tanks and trying to figure out how to make it really a consistent part of the cultural fabric in this nation is ongoing. And the thing that we have to remember, though, too, is we can't just build art centers without the art to go in them. Anytime I'm out on the stage, I give it 100%, and that doesn't mean that it has to be, effortful, but it's like there might be a young student out there who's never seen me perform, so I have a responsibility when I go out there to that person, but I have a responsibility to myself. And if I didn't live up to that, then really what I would do would be disingenuous and meaningless. I've fallen down, I've slipped, I've dropped people, not too much, from time to time. And that's why we do it, because when you get out on the stage, you're really you're in a zone. Nothing else really matters. What people would like to describe that zone will be different for each artist and individual. But that's why I still do what I do, because when I get out there, it's all about being in the moment.